Hello everyone, in today's video we have a few things to cover. One, we're going to go over the first couple weeks of November here. We're going to look at the temperature and precipitation forecast. Before we get into that, we're going to discuss the upcoming lake effect rain and snow showers that are going to impact the parts of the interior northeast over the next 48 hours. Though before we get into that, we want to remind everyone that our giveaway contest is still going on. You have until Sunday, November 10th to enter. We are announcing the winners Monday, November 11th. All you have to do is be subscribed to our channel and comment on any video that you're subscribed. Obviously, if you've already subscribed and you already commented, you're already entered in the contest. There's no need to say you're still subscribed to the channel. We already have you submitted into the contest. Alright, going forward into the forecast here. We're going to start off with looking at the short range NAM model here. This is the high resolution NAM model. Now we're looking at the northeast here. This is valid for Saturday afternoon. Right now it's 12:16 in the morning, just changed to 12:17 in the morning, so this is later in the afternoon. Rain showers will start off during the afternoon, and by the time we get into the nighttime hours, these rain showers will change over to snow showers across northwest PA into western New York. Michigan, plenty of lake effect snow showers are impacting these areas, and many areas are under some sort of winter weather advisory, depending on your local National Weather Service. The forecast can be anywhere from like roughly 2 to 6 inches of snow. Now these are lake effect snow showers, so one town might see a lot more than the other. Maybe some towns see several inches, while the next town over sees little to nothing. But I'm sure with many of you living in the lake effect areas, you understand this pretty well. And taking it forward here into the early parts of Sunday morning, the snow showers are still going on across, especially Lake Erie. This is a pretty significant band here, and this is where we expect the higher totals to occur. Higher totals being upwards of 6 inches of snowfall. And you can expect these snow showers to last through a good part of the Sunday until about the early parts of Sunday afternoon. These showers might even change over back to rain going forward into Sunday. Now let's discuss the overall pattern here going into the first and second week of November. We're going to start off with the GEFS, which is the GFS Ensemble, and we're looking at the upper air pattern here at the 500 millibar level. And the overall pattern here is having a ridge out west and a pretty substantial trough over the central part of the United States as well as the east. This is starting off at your Saturday here. But going forward over the next 10 days, you can see the general idea is that that ridge stays over the west. It maintains itself pretty well. And we get these shots of cold air like every other day across the northern parts of the United States as well as the northeast. So we're already looking at Friday here. We're going to take this back a little bit slower for you guys. So according to GFS, a pretty good shot of cold air comes in on Monday to start off your work week for parts of the northern United States, northeast that is. The west remains under a ridge, so expect warmer conditions than average there. And taking it forward here, this is now Wednesday. You see a little bit of relaxation in the pattern. But then as we get into later in the week, another shot of cold air impacts the northeast here. Well, very strong ridge builds out in the west. Now this is the GFS model. This is one model. European is generally the same, but a little different. We'll take a look at that here in a second. And we're just going to bring this out here to next weekend. And next weekend, you can see the GFS, it kind of doesn't look like it knows what it wants to do. If it wants to build a ridge over much of the United States, or if it wants to maintain the trough over the eastern United States. So we're only going to forecast here for the first 10 days of November, just because that's where our confidence level caps out on. Now we're looking at here, we're going to take it to the European model. Now this is the European ensemble run. And we're looking at the temperature anomalies here at the 850 millibar level. So this is not your surface level, but there's a little bit up in the atmosphere here. And generally speaking, we're going to start off here. This is looking at your Saturday, Saturday morning here. This is skipping every 24 hours here. So this is Saturday morning. And much of the central and eastern United States is well below normal. I'm sure many of you are waking up this morning with frost on your car because temperatures are pretty far below normal for this time of year. And many of us are starting below 32 degrees. But taking this forward here into Sunday and then Monday, you can see out west here, temperatures are well above normal. Now it might not be this above normal at the surface, but it will reflect somewhat into warmer than average conditions. And then here it is again on Tuesday. Another cold shot is entering the northern United States. It's around average on the eastern seaboard, but the west maintains pretty substantial ridge, which allows for the warmer temperatures than average for this time of year. And now we're just going to take it out here till later in the week. Another round of cold air impacts the northern United States. I got to say the European model here, the Euro EPS that is, the ensemble run, is really confident on the northern United States to north central United States. You know, upper Midwest here in the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin to see pretty substantial cold air for this time of year for the first couple weeks of November. And then taking it forward here, this is entering Friday. This push of cold air enters much of the eastern United States, especially over the northeast. But the west remains warm. That's pretty much the most confident forecast we have going forward here over the next 10 days, that the west is going to remain warm. And when we take a look at the precipitation forecast, it's probably going to remain dry as well. And then here we're just entering into the weekend period. Now the European ensemble run is also showing similar conditions to what the GFS was showing for next weekend. It looks like both models are trying to build in some warm air across much of the United States. So there could possibly be a relaxation period in the cold over the northern parts and eastern parts of the United States around the middle of the month. But we're not too confident to say that for sure yet. We'll have another forecast here by next week, going forward into like the 3rd and 4th week of November, in terms of those weeks' forecast. So what are we looking at here in terms of our actual forecast map? We'll take a look here. Actually, let's take a look at that in a second. We're going to look at really quickly here, just a GFS snowfall map here over the next 10 days. Not much going on for much of the United States. There's possibly a couple like Clipper-like systems that might impact the interior Northeast throughout the next 2 weeks here. But again, very low confidence, and we will go more into those details once we get closer to those dates. Now, parts of the upper Midwest here in the northwestern parts of Pennsylvania and western New York, a lot of that comes from this weekend's lake effect snowfall. Alrighty, now here is our forecast going forward here over the next couple weeks. This is our temperature outlook. This is basically what I was going over here in looking at the GFS and the European ensemble. Basically, you have your ridge out west, which will allow for your warmer temperatures in the orange and darker orange colors. Darker orange means you're well above, just above in the orange. Anywhere that's not colored, you have equal chances. You might have some days that are colder than average or some days that are warmer than average. While your lighter blue is below average and your darker blue is well below average for this time of year. Now, obviously, now that we're in November, if you're looking for snowflakes, obviously you want to be in these darker blue colors or even the lighter blue colors, depending on the area. But that doesn't always mean you're going to get snow this time of year. You have to have precipitation. So with that being said, here's our precipitation forecast going forward. And overall, it is a dry pattern going forward for the first 10 days of November here. In your orange colors, you are below normal. In your red colors here, you're well below normal. which does not help any wildfire situations going out in California. Prayers go out to them. I hope they can recover rather quickly and get those wildfires settled. But the temperatures are definitely not helping, or I'm sorry, the precipitation is definitely not helping those areas out anytime soon. Now, of course, your areas that don't have any color, that's equal chances of being wetter than normal or drier than normal. And quite frankly, we are favoring the drier than normal for this time of year. The only areas that might see above normal precipitation would be the upper Midwest and far interior parts of the Northeast, just with those clipper systems, but that's a big if for right now. Do want to mention, Josh and I, we are going to be releasing our next winter forecast on this Sunday, November 3rd. Let me check that date real quick. Yeah, November 3rd, we will be releasing our updated winter forecast. If you haven't seen our first winter forecast, we do have that posted on our YouTube channel. Feel free to scroll back a few videos. As well, it will be in the link in the description, just to remind you what our forecast was from. I believe we posted that a little bit more than a month ago, so it's definitely needed an update, and that will be updated on this Sunday. We likely will not have it out until Sunday evening, however. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great Saturday.